This is true.
Yeah. We'll see if they change
Redacted, are you
anything
listening? Or as
there.
we have on the board here, red catted.
Red catted. Oh, these
Red
teams.
catted. You know what? That's what they need. They're on blue side, but they're red catted. Either way, the bans still have not changed thus far. I get it. You've got some strength on fire streaks on these hook champs, and the Nivea is obnoxious here. But don't you want to take anything else out from Lotus White at this point? They've proven that, like the Xayah, Leona, they're really a struggle for you to deal with here.
Yeah, Thresh is his best champion by
Yeah,
far.
I'll take away Thresh. I'll give him
So
that.
we'll see if they ban Nautilus, which will be a mistake, I think, right? Because he's shown that he's capable of playing Leona, and in fact, they're going to take the Leona away instead and force him onto Nautilus.
I love that we are god tier predictions, by the way. Like
You
literally,
called it there, yeah.
And the Morgana ban though.
I think I might have lost you there. Yeah. So Lotus White did ban Morgana on
No, you
red
didn't.
side,
Just being
and
weird.
oh, it's okay. I lost you.
No.
And this is really, really good from Redacted. They take Nautilus. So instead of using the ban on them, they're going to put Mr. Solar Biscuit, the captain of Redacted here, I'm sorry, Red Catted here, onto that, quote unquote, fourth ban for Redacted, take it away from Fire Streaks, who's been performing really well tonight. And instead, they're going to give him some time to think about it. What support pick do they want to retaliate with? Stick with the Xayah. Interested to see how Lotus White combats the support targets.
Sejuani.
Oh my god. Get out of here.
I think they need the hard engage, but what has proved excellent for Lotus White is the constant support from Fire Streaks and Peel that is available for, Necrox on this Xayah time and time again. He already has the safety of being the Xayah. Throw something just as safe on top of that. The Braum, it takes a little bit more setup, but it still has the ability to peel given the opportunity. You set up the concussive blows, you throw down what is the shield. The glacial fissure can do enough to stop anyone from diving too much further here, but I think that has been the consistent recipe for Lotus White's victory here tonight. Fire Streak supports into Necrox with the, of course, Xayah run away, be a little sort of action.
Yeah, I actually don't like, or I don't mind the Ezreal pick here for Dark Dragon as well. It's really difficult for Braum to ever get on top of an Ezreal. This lane right now, we've seen both bot lanes just showing their hands. It's kind of nullified. The problem for Red Catted is I think Xayah scales much harder and much better than Ezreal. They're both just as safe, but Xayah's going to do so much more damage, consistent DPS in a meaningful way in those team fights, whereas Ezreal's going to be more poke, and you'll see him kind of pad those stats, but it'll just be all these Mystic Shot Qs from lane and from poking. So
Hold your tongue. Okay.
I'm holding
This is one of Dark Dragon's best. This man has come out to play this time around. In Mindblower, he's back on the Urgot, baby. All right. That was actually pretty good last game. And you know what? It's gonna be great the third game.
Was it pretty good, or was it good, or it's gonna be great? You're saying now? Here we go. Yeah.
It was pretty good.
Oh,
now
okay.
we're advancing. It's gonna be great.
Nice.
As Tony the Tiger says.
Can I get a Tony the Tiger impersonation?
Yes. Give me one second.
I want to hear it.
It's great.
That was great. I gotta tell you, that was really, really good. And you looked like a tiger. So we do see Shen as the response pick in the top lane. We're running it back from game one, just taking the Braum instead of Leona. And Nico and Diana being taken away from Redacted and Lotus White in the second ban phase.
Both have shown their presence into the game thus far. The Nico going away, you want to make sure that they don't have that flex opportunity available. Then again, it would only really end up back into the hands of Goldfan, which you yourself have definitely brought up many times. And of course, Lotus White, them as well, bringing up something about napkins or something earlier, whatever. But the Diana definitely had its prowess in the jungle for the side of Lotus White. And I can see why they're taking out. They're trying to dissuade any hard engage that might shut down the potential that they do have available for what is Dark Dragon on that Ezreal, and hopefully something a bit more AP oriented, a little bit more squishy on Goldfan this time around. So the Orianna Hecarim to follow through. I see why the Hecarim.
Yeah, and Redacted are doing something that they haven't done this series yet, which is save their jungle pick for late. They're actually going to give Olympian counter pick for the first time this series. Actually, no, it's the second time because Morgana was first picked, but she's a flex. But remember, he B1'd Udyr on their
Yes,
first
sir.
game. And now they're giving him an opportunity to see 4 out of the 5 champions from Lotus White. Pick what he wants. Okay. I mean, they took away the heck room, but he still has a ton of champs to work with here. What is Olympian going to do? Are they committing to the front to back here? Shyvana. Interesting. I don't like it. Okay. Here's why I don't like it. They've changed power jungling, so you can no longer just farm creeps, which is what Shyvana needs to do if he's building AP, which is much better than building physical damage. Because if he's building physical damage, then this is an awful pick. But if he's building AP, which I think is what he needs to do, yeah, he needs to. He absolutely needs to do it now because they're picking Yone. It doesn't work anymore because of the jungle changes. So I'm a little bit off on this. Yone, I like from Goldfan, although I've never seen him play Yone, and I'm very concerned about an Iron Fan display.
Yes, we've been seeing a lot of iron tonight. Hopefully, the diamond graces the presence here a little bit later on. That being said, it does bode some issues here. We're back to the almost all AD. They give themselves the burst with the Shyvana, but like you said, there's a lot of leeway here to really shut down and prevent that Shyvana from being an oppressive magic target to even begin with. The response, though, into that Yone going to be the Akali into the counter position there.
And take a look, right? Lotus White know exactly what they want to do with their comp, which is dive. They have the Shen, which they took in the first rotation, and then they immediately paired it up with a Kane who's flexible. I don't know if he's going to go blue this time. I think it probably is going to be red Kane actually, and a Diana. Or I'm sorry, not Diana, an Akali. So they have this front to back once again, and they're going to say, Necrox, you're on your Zaya. You're going to have some peel from Fire Streaks. Just survive, and they come and help us clean up this team fight.
That's literally how they played it out every other
Yeah.
time. I can't imagine it not working out the third time. Great hot take there from you, Dunzy.
Oh,
That being said, I, I gotta spread the love to Redacted here. 3-0. Maybe I was a little bit too forward. 2-1 is still fine in Zephyr's sweet, sweet house lullaby carriage orphanage here. Um, God forbid they have parents. But I will say that I'm losing it. I am curious to see if they can really eke out the presence here from Lotus White and find their way on a Necrox for once. Um,
yeah.
yes, they have the Shyvana that's going to find the way to leave in the backline, but the separation of Olympian has been a problem since game one. That's not going to change things here. They need to wash the team fight from front to back from the very beginning here, and hopefully this is enough to do it. Man, it's a rush of choices.
Yeah, they have a really, really bruisery comp on Redacted, which I think fits a bit better for the style that they've been playing in games 1 and 2. They're kind of matching Lotus White here a little bit more, right? Whereas they were kind of all over the place in the first 2 comps. So I will say, just based on draft, I think this is the most balanced composition that Redacted has brought out tonight. That being said,
I was gonna say,
Redacted is
where's the but? You always have
no,
a but.
no. Here we go. Redacted
Okay.
also has, I mean, admittedly played pretty well. We talked about Lotus White playing on a high level. Redacted is almost with them, and I think that this honestly could be the game. You cannot expect Lotus White to be playing at like peak level every single game. If there's an opportunity for a win, I'm gonna give it to you here, Zephyr. Redacted can salvage their night, which they absolutely need to do if they want to keep pace with the top teams in this league, with a possible game 3 win.
You hear that? Lotus no longer has a coach and a drafter anymore. Dunzy has completely thrown them aside. He is a complete traitor. Scandalous. Throw it into the news. But I can agree. I think this is the most balanced that we've seen Redacted get. Who's your marquee matchup here? Because my eyes, of course, are on Olympian once again. I think he's one of the few players that are really trying to lock down Necrox time and time. So I'm really watching to see how he performs. And given the fact that he's the only magic damage to work with, he's more than likely going to be the engage for this team. Of course, Solar Biscuit has the availability on whether it's the dredge line or the depth charge. But I really think we're going to see Olympian be the one to just jump in with the Dragon's Descent at any given point and just slam him in there.
Yeah. The problem with that is most likely, we don't know yet, I guess, is
Yeah,
he's
we're
most
just
likely going to
guessing.
be AP, right? So when you play the AP style Shyvana, you're playing from a distance, you want to poke him down and
No,
then
no,
kind
no.
of be able to engage.
Go in.
Yeah, I just don't think you're going to see
Go
that
ahead.
from Olympian. I'm going to give you a different take, right? I mean, we've already talked about the Necrox factor and what he needs to do. This particular game, you finally see Goldfan on a skirmishy fighter, okay? And so I think the player to look at right now is how can Goldfan match up against, the creme de la creme, Saint Alucard in the mid lane here on two fighters, right?
Creme
These
de la
guys are just
creme.
both a sat. Yeah, how do you say it?
No, you did it
I'm trying.
right. I
Oh,
just
okay.
I love that. Once again, another hot take here from Dunzy. The absolute creme de la creme, Saint Alucard, the man himself. This is the pinnacle of what you have to compete against in the
Is this
Excellency Light League.
is this what I get for what you perceive as me patronizing you all night? A little bit
Oh,
more, please.
You can do the rest of
Why am I being
analyst desk
attacked right
alone
now?
at this point. You've
Oh
got it all.
no!
You
Oh
got it.
my! No, Zephyr, you're perfect. Come back, please. That okay?
Later.
Hey, can we bring back Tony the Tiger then? I need somebody with me here. We're not so great right now. There he is. You're
Hi, my
perfect.
name is Wyatt.
Hi, Wyatt.
Nice to meet you.
Perfect. Wyatt, what do you think Redacted needs to do this game?
Well, of course, Redacted have to play through this Yone at this point. The Gold fan is finally on something that's more than just the ability to play off. It's not the Seraphim Encore setup, the Lamb's Respite Savior. He's on Yone. He's the damage. He's going to be that hard engage into that backline, swooping through with the Fate's Call, and hopefully he has the damage to boot to find success on what is the Necrox or the St. Alucard. And yes, while Alucard is well respected within this league by certain individuals that I've heard thus in the past, I personally think Goldfan has much to meddle, but I'm gonna head out now.
No, my dear Wyatt, please, just one question.
Yes.
Are you free next Tuesday? You are so much smarter than my friend Zephyr. I'm
Zephyr's
hoping
a
that.
great guy, and he gives good analysts. Don't harass my friend.
Okay. He was my friend before yours, Wyatt. See ya. Hey, Zephyr, welcome back.
Oh
Hi,
man, what did I
nice to see you.
miss?
You know what? This great stranger just kind of entered the analyst desk, filled in for you, man. Like he kind of just left me hanging there. But Wyatt came in and he gave me some great analysis. I'm gonna see if he's free next week.
Well, if he's willing to stoop to your level at any given point, I'm sure you can have him all you want. But that being said, we've got one final series to make our way through here tonight. Lotus White versus Redacted. Can Redacted find their way back into it, take it to a 2-1, and keep themselves in the highest position that they're currently at? We don't know. It's going to be left up to them. As for us, we'll be taking our leave, and we'll leave you with Shells and Hickory on the riff. Stick around.
Alrighty, folks, it is time for game number 3 between Team Redacted in the blue shorts and Lotus White in the red trunks. You know, at the top of the day, every single person on the broadcast thought that Redacted had the upper hand, but it's been Lotus White 2 times in a row, 2 first bloods from Necrox, and 2 kind of mid games falling apart from Redacted. My name is Hickory with the call. My analyst here is Shells for the final time tonight. How's it going?
I'm feeling very, very good, Hickory. We have a very exciting game 3 on the board for us. We have Goldfan on a Yone after being put on Victor and then Kindred duty for some reason in game number 2. He is now on a champ that actually does damage, on a champ that can actually do very well in this mid lane matchup and allow the squad here from Team Redacted to push in their lane. But as we go ahead and get set up here, watch where the junglers are going to start and look at just keystones and summoners here. I'm not seeing anything that is too untoward, nothing too crazy here from either side.
Yeah, definitely not. I know that Das was trying to figure out if Olympian would go AP, and the Dark Harvest kind of reinforces that idea. That was their guess, of course, is most people's guess with a Shyvana. But you know, just to solidify how things are going. I know they were also a little bit worried about the power jungling. Star Dragon, did you scale? He did scale Q. Unfortunately, he's going to have to flash out there. Blown flash at 150 in the game. See, that's why, kids, you don't scale an ability until you're in lane.
You can see he had used mana, so you know he used Q on that red buff. That is so tough. You want to help out your jungler, but there is so much cheese available to a Xayah and a Braum. You really have to take care to not get caught out in that tri-brush. Maybe you have to go the scaredy cat way, the long route to the lane, but just has to blow flash early on Ezreal. You know, with his E, he is a little bit safer, but without the flash, you are in quite a bit of damage into this Zyra and
yeah, I mean, Braum with the absolute strongest level 1 in the game. It almost feels bad to not see some. See, again, I don't think it's cheese. I think it is the most effective tactics available. You know, when you're the strongest level 1 champion in the game, might as well scuff a little bit at level 1. Kind of dangerous here. You're right, he does have the Arcane Shift now, is Dark Dragon, so he'd be a little bit safer. But no flash that early is just, it's more just kind of a stressor, really, than anything.
What this does is it's gonna force Dark Dragon and Solar Biscuit to just farm under their own tower. Which, I mean, you have a you have a knock there, so you can all right, but no pressure at all in this lane. Really coming at any point, especially if you have a Kane with his with his pretty unique ganking patterns. You have to be on your toes at all points here, so you're really gonna be put on the back foot for a very long as an Ezreal and Nautilus. But as we do see, both of these junglers pathing in opposite directions. Olympian on the Shyvana, pathing toward his top side. Mindblower getting up those turrets.
Yeah, very well. Good taunt there from Kamatako, who Mindblower has had the best of Kamatako quite a few times, especially in these early games. But that trade right there going to set him off really easy. In fact, my Mindblower is backing at level 3, greeting out the Nuguri kind of build here with the Cole first start and potentially biting him in the butt a little bit. You know, of course, no Doran shield to heal back up. And a gank here in the mid lane. Goldfan does, of course, have his flash, and I'd be surprised if anything happens. But a pressure gank is what I like to call those. As Olympian just kind of showing that he's in the area to make sure the gank isn't too pressurized.
Yeah, that's Olympian just showing where he is on the map. There was nothing that could have come from that. Nice little anchor there from to step forward quite a bit to do not much of anything there. But he's going to be just fine as a Braum. But we have seen Mind numerous times in this series. I think every game he has gone for Cole at some point very early on in the matchup because he has been playing this matchup. But it looks like Kamatako might be looking at himself as a bit of a improved character of himself in this game, much like Wyatt from our AD.
Yeah, Kamatako felt a little rough on the Shun in game 1 into the allower for my Mindblower, but so far so good. Of course, I was saying how he was feeling a bit better on the sign in the previous game. Most improved, perhaps, over the series. We'll see, of course, how the rest of the game rolls out. But again, yet another one of our slow starts here. I can't recall if the second game was as slow, but the first game we noted was an incredibly slow start. That took quite a while to really kind of get anything going. My mind blower, the disdain, but Smarter Pants just kind of, poking around. Of course, he is trying to get his evolution before things really get off to the races. I wonder if I can check in here. In fact, I'm not certain if I actually can see where he is with the passive. We'll just have to see what the evolution is. And of course, Ivana, the half-dragon lady, is on the Drake herself. Soloed out. No one's really responding, so it should be a pretty easy first Drake here for the side of Redacted.
And that's going to feel very, very good for Redacted because, as we do know, like you said, the Olympian does scale based off of dragon taking. So you want to be on the, you definitely want to be on the site very early, hit those very quickly, and allow yourself to scale up. This is another win con for the side of Redacted, and they're going to need it. They're going to need every advantage that they can get here in this game because they have not been showing up very strong gameplay, macro, late game prowess at all in this matchup here.
Mike, shows you sound a little bit like you're talking to me through one of those little across the way between those two little middle school kids. And not that I'm not enjoying our conversation. I'm just not certain that's exactly the form of communication that I'm looking for between the true of us. That being said, I can hear you clearly at the very least. But big wave crashing here in the top lane. And you were mentioning the macro from Redacted, and I think you're right that we've seen about that kind of 17-minute mark 2 games in a row that Redacted is looking very good and then kind of just stops making decisions seemingly for some time, and kind of all of a sudden White Lotus has a pretty big lead. But as I was noting, a lot of lull periods in this series. And perhaps a bit of a lull period. Just let me know when you feel like things are going good. Bit of a trade here in the mid lane. Solar Biscuit is here. Oh, Dredgeline not far enough. St. Alucard does have the mark. But I think everyone's just hanging. Now, one Olympian is here. Oh, the sweeper is beautiful on St. Alucard. He has absolutely no idea. He stopped his recall. Goldfan does get on top and flash out. Everyone's chilling. It's okay. A really, really good perfect execution will keep St. Alucard alive for a little bit longer. Solar Biscuit is now here, really, really trying to get on top of St. Alucard, who has been a star player. In fact, it's actually top lane, my mind blower, who is in trouble. He early taunt there and early flash. My mind blower would definitely get first blooded there by St. Alucard.
My man, how does my microphone sound now? Still,
You sound beautiful and like you're ready to give a replay analysis of that first blood.
that I can do. So as we do see here, we get a first blood here. Look at the gank from Smart Pants getting in there onto my mind blower. Forces the flash out. I mean, this is what Kane does. You press R and you just allow your team to go ahead and go crazy here. I mean, this is just what a Kane will do in these games. Very, very hard to play around, but we do have a bit of a setup right now on the map.
Couple in the top lane as well. Olympian does have his ultimate. Kamatako has his flash. And with Smart Pants, though, a bit of walking away. I was going to note that this is the first time from that early trade, that early back, and now into the early gank. I feel like the Kamatako really has like a hold of his lane. I mean, it's really been my mind blower and a good dredge line there in the bot lane. It's really been my mind blower just kind of controlling the lane, thousands of gold ahead. Of course, Kamatako is playing weak side. It's not like he's not like he's playing Camille here and 3,000 gold behind, but this is the first time I feel like he's really feeling comfortable going into that kind of like level 7, level 8 mark.
Yeah, just feeling really good for themselves. And Olympian, no.
Oh, the early smite! I didn't think the early smite was going to matter. Smart Pants might give his life here to my mind blower, but that was just way too easy of a steal. We got to see that on replay. We just panned to it at the last second.
Yeah, replay coming up right now. You go ahead and smite. No, you cannot do this, especially against a Kane. You don't see him right there in the area. And then Smart Pants comes and smites it away. Now, in fairness, you do get the Fear Beyond Death from my mind blower, so he once again gets 300 gold. But it's if you don't know where Kane is, if you don't have vision on him, you have to respect how dangerous he can be. He can be anywhere on the map. You have to go ahead and smite it respectfully. Or at least have enough damage on the map to go ahead and kill it quickly after you smite. That was just to be respectful, that was a not very optimal move by Olympian.
Yeah, I missed on the replay, but I'm pretty certain from the first play, a little bit of a fight here. I'll talk about it in a second. Fire Streak's gonna have to flash out. I believe that was a 450 smite from Olympian. And I was talking about it in the previous game with the Morgana start, that the 900 smite, it's a big change. It feels very awkward. You're extremely over-incentivized into smiting 5 times to finish that, that precursor item as fast as possible. Because you get into that situation, there's a 150-ish smite from Smart Pants, and I'm almost certain that the 5th smite had not gone down for Olympian. Pretty unfortunate scuffle here. I'm sorry?
I think that was the 5th smite.
I think it was as well. It could happen again. No. Flash forward from Smart Pants is just a little bit too late, but they will pick up the kill here for Solar Biscuits. First kill of the game for Necrox. Not 3 for 3 on the first blood, and it does sound from the production that it was that final smite there, and that really could have been the difference maker, having gotten the smite a little bit, the smite on the camp a little bit earlier. Rift Shot in the bot lane, and things getting a little tough here for Redacted pretty rapidly.
This is what you don't want to see if you are Redacted. This is once again Necrox collecting a bunch of gold for himself. Now it will be split between 3 champions, so it won't be as much gold as a Necrox could be getting, but taking those plates and this first turret of the game is going to be extremely oppressive for the side of Team Redacted, and that was the win con. Your win con is really finding a way to shut down Necrox. We see in his first 2 games, he had 10 kills in both those games, only 2 deaths in both those games combined. So he has been a menace on the Rift. I love what I've been seeing from, say, Alucard, even Smart Pants playing very well, and Fire Streaks enabling Necrox. But he is for sure the win con for this Lotus White squad. They love playing around him on this Xayah. Has not drawn a ban yet. Necrox can get this Xayah, and he keeps on performing on it.
Yeah, I was going to kind of mention that, or I was thinking about it rather during the draft. This is 3 Xayah games in a row that he's felt like just a little too comfortable on. 3 games in a row. Remember, that was the Rift Herald that was stolen by Smart Pants that gives over the first blood. Good Dread Lunge onto Fire Streaks. He does not have Flash from the early play. He does have Exhaust to keep himself alive. Necrox in a little bit of trouble here, but does have the heal, does have Flash. Solar Biscuit, in fact, is the one that's going to flash forward from Necrox. Oh, he just cancels an auto. I think he A-clicked at the very last second. Unfortunately, will not pick anything up. My Mind Blower now in some trouble here. He does not have Flash for a few more seconds. He has the Death Beyond Fear, if you might hear, on the AD Kamataku here without the Flash, but he doesn't need it. He gets the taunt. He will get yet another kill. In fact, his first of the game. But a 1-2 start from my Mind Blower feeling a little bit different. You were just mentioning that shutting down Necrox is the win condition. Well, another win condition is getting my Mind Blower ahead of Kamatako, and that's not happening this game.
They've been winning without Mind Blower getting behind. He's even very far ahead. I think the win con for Lotus White is to shut down my Mind Blower. You have to focus top side, make sure that my Mind Blower can't become a strong team fight presence, can't become a strong split push presence, as we saw him in game, I believe, number 1. But, I mean, I'm not game number 2, actually. But either way, I mean, this is just a very strong start, once again, from the Lotus White squad, able to get that Herald down. Now, Redacted does have the first 2 dragons, so they bought themselves a bit of time. But they are looking at about a 3,000 gold deficit in the first 14 minutes of the game as plates go down. This is not where you want to be in this matchup, game 3, if you're going against Lotus White and the kind of phenom that Necrox is on this Xayah.
Well, speaking of Phenom, St. Alucard, who really dominated in the previous game, in a bit of a trouble here. He has gotten an incredible amount of pressure this game, literally ganked by every single player except for Dark Dragon, sometimes multiple times. And he is chilling at 0-0-0 with a 15 CS lead almost against his lane opponent. He is absorbing so much pressure that, well, Necrox can kind of just do whatever he wants.
To be fair, Necrox has been doing whatever he wants for the past 3 games. But you're right. You're 100% right. Saint Alucard has been very great at absorbing this pressure, making sure that the other lanes can feel strong. Common Taco not in a bad position right now as he has been in previous games at a 15-minute mark. Necrox is feeling himself. He's doing just fine in his matchup against Dark Dragon. This is Dark Dragon's 3rd champ he's played on. The Nico didn't look all that great. Last game on the Misfortune, that was more about positioning, I think, and team shot calling, why that pick didn't work out so hot. But on this Ezreal, he's going to have to be a big playmaker, be a little bit more aggressive. And going for the Essence Reaver build, there's a lot of I guess you can call it theory crafting on what is the best Ezreal build to go with. I think it's going to be all about his setup with his team. It's all about vision and setup with Team Redacted.
Oh, Dredgeland does land. Flash out from Fire Streaks, and in goes Olympian, but Necrox is way out. He doesn't have the flash, but he doesn't need it. He's got the stand united. Necrox picks up the first kill of the team fight. Smart Pants trying to continue a little bit. Dredgeland does land. Pretty low is Smart Pants. He is Red Cane, though. He keeps up alive a little bit. Fast forward is Saint Alucard. Huge damage onto Solar Biscuit. He's trying to get the perfect execution on Dark Dragon. He does hit the Shuriken flip and will pick up a double kill for himself. All while Common Taco has TP'd back to it. We're going to have to see it again. That was a pretty abrupt fright.
Not misspeak. That was an abrupt fright right there. They engaged from Olympian. But, I mean, this had no shot of actually going down. You see that this is way too much damage coming through from Lotus White. Necrox doing what he does best. That is really killed players on the opposite side of the map, and there's just not a lot of front line at all. You can tell from the mini map. You're looking at my mind blower split pushing top side, which is what he's been doing all game long. And if you see an Akali hit her E, that Shuriken flip on any 80 carry, any squishy, you know you're already dead. You can be full health. It does not matter at all. Akali hits that E, you're off the map. You're looking at a gray screen for the next few seconds. And this is the big problem here with Team Redacted. Yes, they're looking at their top laner go ahead and split push, but they're still opting into fights that are disadvantageous for them in the river where they have no vision and they have no presence. Look at the vision. Look at the wards here that are deep in the red side quadrant of Team Redacted's jungle right now. It is so oppressive right now, and the shot calling has felt a little off all series.
It definitely has. This is also that kind of timer again, where it starts feeling really uncomfortable for Redacted with the shot calling. They're on the Rift Herald right now on Vision. And it looks like the side of Light Lotus is looking for a great dredge line from Solar Biscuit, but I'm not entirely certain that's what he's really looking for. As a taunt does land, he does have flash, but he flashes in the wrong direction. And we'll just give a killing spree over to Saint Alucard. I don't even want to call it a caster curse at this point because it's almost a trend here, a worrying trend, that at 15-ish minutes, 17-ish minutes, Redacted's shot calling becomes really, really problematic.
And at some point, I would say it could be the shot calling could be okay. My mind blower, you split push. We do what we're gonna do on the rest of the map. But this feels a lot to me like in solo queue when your top laner is tilted and he's just AFK splitting. Like there's no reason to even walk into these fights if you don't have your Urgot here. Like why even pick Urgot? There are a few other better champions for split pushing, and I don't really think that my mind blower has been in a team fight in the last 30 minutes. Like you haven't seen him in the last few games. He's just absent from all these team fights. He's splitting AFK, and he's just. It feels like it's 4v5 sometimes when you're looking at these skirmishes.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, there literally was a 4v5 with the Scene United. I'm pretty certain he has not. Oh, here's a TP. I was about to say, I feel like he's not TP'd into a fight. Fire Streak's in some trouble here. He does not have the flash. In fact, the Fear Beyond Death lands on him, and the Fear itself lands onto Common Taco. Unfortunately, there's just not enough health there for Smart Pants. He's trying to walk his way out. He doesn't have flash, though. He's never going to make it out. Common Taco does, and finally some signs of life from Redacted. It was, again, a bit of an abrupt one with a TP. You want to check it out again, Shell?
So, right as we were saying that my man, my mind blower, is not, he's being the absentee father. This isn't really a team fight. He solo kills Common Taco here. Or no, this is Fire Streaks, I believe. So he does get the kill there with no help from anyone else. But yeah, after that, This is just Smart Pants going in. He's all alone. No flash. Can't get over that wall. Dies to Nautilus. So that's Solar Biscuit getting gold. That's exactly who Smart Pants wants that kill to go over to. So you don't really lose too much by dying. And my Mind Blower isn't really present at an actual fight. He gets the solo kill, dips out to the top lane, shoves a wave out. He's gonna probably back right now, help out get his mythic right now, but even still, the solo kill feels good for the team, but that really he didn't really have a presence in that actual engage, in the actual fight there.
Yeah, it's also not an objective on the board. There were a couple towers, to be fair, but not, a Baron, a Rift Herald, a Drake that was picked up, or that the absentee father. Hopefully, he can be a bit more present when it's a bit closer to Drake time, which is about 50 or so on the board. It looks like White Lotus is kind of aware of that. They're getting Kamatako set up for the split push, and of course, the Stand United. We see a little bit more vision control here, though, as Redacted kind of scared to push forward.
And with Ocean Drake on the map, or in about 30 seconds time, I wanted to go ahead and look at the gold difference, but we're going to have some action set up pretty soon, as getting vision established is going to be very important. Potentially a sole point for Team Redacted in what looks like their first realistic win con in this 3-game series.
It's the first time that they've had more than 2 Drakes. I need to double check, be the first time they've even had 2 Drakes. So they definitely want to get onto this Ocean Soul. Also is really important, but that is being said, Kamatako just kind of chilling in the top lane, picking this up. It looks like Necrox is starting it up. No, it's actually Goldfan who's responding to this. He does have TP, of course. The Drake should be started up by the side of White Lotus here. Olympian has flash. Olympian does also have his ultimate. The Dragon's Descent. He dropped it. He gets the smite. The great 50-50 will be a trade, but it's trade for soul point on Ocean Soul. Very well done. Depending on Baron, too.
Soul, exactly right. You get the Ocean Soul, but this is going to be the call for Baron right now.
Yeah, we'll see if Redacted wants to contest it all. Actually, it's Kamatako that has found Goldfan. He should be able to walk his way out. There is no smite from Olympian at all. So this should be a free Baron, in that win condition that Redacted has paid for. Might be returned pretty negatively with about a 4K gold lead. I think you mentioned you want to talk about it just before that Dragon fight.
So if we can go ahead and toggle over to individual gold, you can see that once again there is a kind of nominal advantage for Mind Blower in the top lane, but you just go ahead. You know where your eyes should go first. You already know where you have to look to find the real difference in gold. It is that 80 carry role, Necrox being a superstar, and Dark Dragon having his first real experience with the team so far this season. 2,000 is the advantage for Necrox, and then another 2,000 ish for Saint Alucard on this Akali into the Yone, and this is just this just paints the picture. The carries of Lotus White, they get kills, they find advantages, they have pressure on the map, and they do not die. For the side of Team Redacted, it feels like they're playing more like not to lose than to actually win, and it feels a little bit disjointed at times, and the wallets are only going to get thicker and thicker as we do reach a 5k gold deficit for Team Redacted.
5K indeed. Power play about 2,000 or so. Fair power play, that is. Not Red Bull, it's coffee sponsored. If we have a little fancy thing to throw up there, I might have just dropped the ball on that sponsorship. But anyway, the fact of the matter is that the White Lotus carries are extremely reliable. We've seen that in 3 games in a row. We were talking about St. Alucard's ability to escape ganks. He's had a lot of damage output. Of course, Necrox, who we're really kind of talking about potentially the best player in the league at this point. Definitely the best ADC, I think, is my vote. He's really changed my point. I'm sorry, Counters, my boy. It's just not going to happen anymore after this kind of a performance. Maybe if you get 3 Zayas in a row, it'll go just fine. Tier 2, the mid lane goes. And St. Alucard kind of looked at. Oh, he does take the shuriken flip. He has a perfect execution as well. Goldfan does proc his pass. Oh my god, the flash forward picks up a solo kill just as I was praising him. St. Alucard puts 4 on the board.
That should be illegal. Can we please get a rules check right there? Is St. Alucard allowed to do that? Is he allowed to dive after taking a turret shot, using the R, following the shuriken flip onto a Yone? Goldfan just getting outplayed there, and I think we may have a replay of that.
Yeah, we can check it out. That was just perfectly executed. We'll keep on for the replay. My pun can be just enough for you. They're pretty engaged here on the tier 3, but my mind blower, and here comes Olympian from over the top. Necrox is in safe position. He flashes out. My Olympian in a lot of danger here. Stand United will keep Necrox up and ready to go. Smarty Pants deep in the enemy team picks up a kill. Oh my god, there goes Goldfan. After I get solo killed, I'll solo kill you, but not enough damage just yet. There is a shutdown onto Necrox, but there's really not enough in the tank, in fact, and it ends up being a 2-for-2 trade, but that was Redacted's kind of, I don't want to say last-ditch effort, but, you know, second or third to last-ditch effort for sure.
That was their best shot at doing literally anything, and it was Goldfan not able to go ahead and make it happen. Doesn't have the items.
Oh, Dredge line does land. Dark Dragon picks up his first kill of the game.
Dark Dragon is given the silverest of spoons. He is alley-ooped that kill. It's his first kill of the game. That's going to feel very good for him on this Ezreal. What we do know, Ezreal needs several items to really feel good about himself. Does have the Mirror Mana and the Essence Reaver in the back pocket. So we'll have to see how strong he can become. And this is Redacted just getting a little bit more time under their belt. The 5th dragon of the game is coming up right now in about 30 seconds time. This could be the Ocean Soul for Team Redacted, but there is so much power in Necrox and St. Alucard on this Xayah and Akali respectively that you're going to have to face danger, or honestly just go ahead and try to go for the steal, give up your life if you are Olympian for the sake of this Ocean Soul.
He did it once. I wouldn't put it past him doing it twice now. I mean, in reality, the damage of Dragon's Descent actually is pretty hard to keep in track when you're trying to smite as Smart Pants. Level equal, though, for the junglers, and it looks like they're going to start with them. They are waiting for Smart Pants intelligently. Blue Trinket will get them out. Everyone's just kind of sussing each other out. Looks like Necrox is going to start it up. Olympian showed himself
On the wave for some reason.
on the wave. Definitely confusing. He's made it here. He's pretty fast. Oh, they're baiting him out. Incredibly well done. They take the 50-50, and they're going to take the fight. It almost looks like, actually, that's a lot of damage returned back. Here comes the heal from Smart Pants, and finally, in goes St. Alucard, executing across the team. Front to back is Necrox. Well, it looks like maybe return kill. No, my Mind Blower would not pick it up. St. Alucard picked up his 6th of the game, and the stun does land. And that is a perfect ace, 0 for nothing, plus the Drake. Gotta see it again. Man, that was so well set up. They knew Olympian was coming in.
Olympian was showing himself on the wave bot side, and look, this is just Lotus White saying we understand what happened last time, trying to go ahead for the steal. There's no vision in this area. Actually, there was vision. There was a ward right there in the pit, so they should have seen that no one was hitting that dragon at all. But Olympian just does engage, goes inside there, try to get the smite down, dies for his sins, and who is on the flank? It is St. Alucard getting those cleanup kills on that Akali, 6-0-5. So while his team was tanking, and they were all got them pretty low, he was able to go ahead and clean up the kills there. And at that point, this was just, it was just a very heads-up play from Lotus White, understanding what Olympian wants to do in this game and how strong he is at going for steals. But this was just a kind of a strange self-outplay by Olympian, showing on the wave and then walking into that dragon pit with that vision in that interior brush in the dragon pit as well.
Starting the Baron here, kind of almost a Hail Mary. About 9,000 gold behind. Of course, White Lotus is fully aware of this, and it's actually Firestreet's kind of poking around, seeing if you get them off. I think Redacted very intelligently walking off. They were just seeing if they could make a sneak. They don't really have a ton of damage, though, I feel like, with Ezreal. You know, it's not a kite
damage. they have no damage. 30 minutes. Gold fan has only one item to Saint Alucard's 1, 2, 3, and sitting on that Oblivion Orb. So not only hard outweighing the kind of damage output that Yone can pull out, but also countering him with getting that bit of healing reduction with that component there. I mean, there's just not a whole lot that the carries for Team Redacted can do, and it's hard to really signify or determine what a carry actually is, because a carry has to carry something. There's not much going on here for the side of Team Redacted.
Yeah, they still do have 3 drakes in the tank. They're only 2 minutes away from that Ocean Soul. Of course, it's an incredibly powerful soul. It can make the difference of, I mean, I would easily say 4,000 or 5,000 gold. The difference is about 9,000 to feel much more comfortable. Right now, as it stands, it's a pretty intense gold lead in the 6 to 7% range, which is just over. Oh no, a little bit of a fight here. My mind blower does not pick up fire streaks. Finish the thought. It's kind of just under a massive lead at the kind of 10% range. But the flash forward from my mind blower. He really wants St. Alucard here. St. Alucard is in danger. He does have Zonia still. He still has a perfect execution as well. He's in the back line. He's actually really low, but he has the rest of his team following up. A Hail Mary play there from my mind blower. Just egg on his face all of a sudden as 3 for 1. They get the shutdown on St. Alucard. Oh, they might even get a kill here onto Goldfan. Kamantako, a level above. Doesn't really have a ton of damage as the basically full tank Shen, but he will pop the shield bow and at least force Goldfan away as the rest of his team is kind of trying to finish it up. It looking kind of scary here. Let's just finish off this kill. Come on, Kamatako. I believe in you. He does get the sort of solo kill. 4-0-14, 21-7 on the board, 56,000 gold. It was a 3-0 Zephyr. But man, oh man, was it not a 3-0 for Redacted. Looks like they're trying to pad the stats here a little bit. Well, actually, might be padding them a little bit too hard. I think they got the damage, though. Shutdown is on Smart Pants. And it's GG. It's a 3-0 for White Lotus. And I want to move us along a little bit. So, Zephyr, Dunsey, what's going on?
Pain. Lots of it. A hard track towards Pain City. The train is a rolling, and it just ain't a stopping here tonight.
Joy. Lots of it. The joy is through the streets for Lotus Whites. And Dunsey's 3-0 against Redacted. Crisp 10 and Mitch, both excellency staffers, throwing up a giant dud in the draft department tonight.
Wow.
It's not all on Redacted. It might just be a coach diff. Who knows?
I feel like I was gonna say you're leaving this for later, okay? We can cover the responses from Crisp and them in a further week. But that being said, where'd it go wrong, Dunsey? I guess where'd it go wrong?
You know what? Okay, so we did talk about the draft being the best for Game 3, but the Necrox factor in team fights was untouchable, and we want to harp back on what Hickory touched on in this game. I think the biggest problem for Redacted in Game 3 was they could not touch St. Alucard. St. Alucard, who drew so much pressure, gank after gank, and maintained a CS lead over Goldfan in the Akali Yone matchup despite drawing all that pressure. He played phenomenally in the lane phase, and all of Lotus White, just as a team, were able to pull through.
Yeah, I think the cohesion here in Lotus White tonight is just undeniably strong. Big props to people like Firestreaks and Common Taco, providing literally the most sound peel consistently in all 3 games. I think that is just impressive through and through, whether it be the Stan Uniteds on Common Tacos in games, I believe 1 and 3, or what was the just constant Leona banishment on top of, I believe, furthermore, I'm losing my brain cells for game 3.
The
But
Braum.
the Braum, always keeping tabs on Necrox, making sure he lived out there, and it proved evident. Necrox was able to have an easy streak this tonight. No props to him, completely props to his teammates.
Yeah, even Smart Pants, he found his ganks in the top lane this time. Finally, Mind Blower meets his match. He was, I mean, props to him for winning his lane against Kamentako. Kamentako knew that wasn't really his job or his priority. Blind Blower was still able to carry leads in every single game, I think. But Smart Pants finally took advantage of that aggression in game 3, and he got the cane rolling early as well. So just activating that Shen to utilize that global ultimate throughout the map was massive.
That being said, before we throw it back to the interview of the night, we are going to finish it off here on the AD with another and final trash talk to look at. Oh boy.
Let's see it.
Dunzy, if you would.
Okay, so Ben Fawcett. I have a friend named Wyatt. I think he might be related to Ben Fawcett here. He says, "You let me down." Redacted, sad face. And okay, I mean, they went 0-3. It was a very hard fought 0-3. I don't really think I'm going to be moving them that far down my power rankings.
You know what? You know, you're on track here with something. I would agree and say that I think Redacted just had a rough night. I think at the end of the day, it was still a strong showing. They're still a very, very competitive team. But it just wasn't their night. You know what? They'll
It
come
wasn't.
back.
Yeah. The rest of the league, Cape Dogs actually take game 3 against Clockwork. So that's back-to-back weeks now. Cape Dogs 2-1 against Lotus White and what we thought were an up-and-coming Clockwork team. And Hawkthorn were able to come back from their 1-0 deficit in game 1 to take over a 2-1 series lead against Degenerates. Now, we still need to see what happens with Divine Ascension in Classic Esports and Supports Burden and Zenigma. But a lot of close matchups tonight, even the 3-0 Lotus White over Redacted. Next week, you will see Cape Dogs versus Zenigma on stream.
That being said, though, we are going to be throwing this one back to Hickory and Shells as they have a lovely interview prepared for you with the one and only St. Alucard.